Welcome back to the Midnight Who Show. And boy, Spider-Man No Way Home was fantastic. I had a blast watching this film. There's so many amazing moments in this film that I think are some of the best that have ever come from a Spider-Man movie. I'm not going to talk about them in here because, this is no spoilers, okay? There will be nothing revealed. I'm only going to talk about stuff that was in the trailer or that Sony publicly shared in marketing and stuff. That's it. There's 5 villains in this movie, and we've seen them all in the trailers. So we got Lizard, Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, and Doc Ock. And I think my favorite ones are the main 3: Doc Ock, Green Goblin, and Electro. I really enjoy that they brought them back, especially Electro, because it really allows Jamie Foxx to basically kind of reinvent Electro a little bit and get a lot more time to shine, which I thought was great, because I liked him in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I felt he was not used properly, if that makes any sense. And come on, Green Goblin was phenomenal in this movie. The moment I heard that laugh for the very first time, I was like, this is amazing. And I liked how they kind of switched up his costume, too. You got the classic costume that we all expect, and then his new one that he has, which really allows for William Dafoe to kind of visually act a lot more, and we get to see his facial expressions, which I thought was an absolute delight. This man brings this role to life. And come on, Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. He's great Doc Ock. I'm so glad they brought him back. And the de-aging technology they did, I thought was pretty decent. It wasn't too noticeable. Now, an interesting thing I found when I was watching this film, now I mentioned it in my Spider-Man Memories video, how Spider-Man 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it suffered from, too much going on, which was one of my main concerns when I first heard about this movie with all this stuff happening. But luckily, I didn't feel there was any problem with it. I think they actually had a good story throughout. The main problem I had was mostly at the start. That was my main problem with this film, was I think it just wasn't a great start with it. But once that bridge scene hit, the rest of the movie was perfection. And I also will say, my other problem with this film is kind of the multiverse stuff that they did in this film. I don't think was necessarily used well, or at least for me when I was watching it. And I think this is just simply because of Into the Spider-Verse already came out. And I think that's why I think of multiverse and Spider-Man. I think this got close. That kind of makes sense. Now, this movie does have some great humor in it. Not all of them I enjoyed, but I thought they were an absolute blast. And I especially enjoyed that kind of banter between the villains. I also enjoyed the inclusion of Doctor Strange in this movie. He probably should have cast that spell for Peter. And he was kind of used very well, I thought. And he served a purpose in this film. Now, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is definitely put through a lot in this film. He's definitely going through a big, huge character arc for him, and he's learned a lot of important lessons in this film. And it definitely sets up a very interesting and different future for him. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. Yes, the beginning was a little bit rough at times, but once it picked up, it was fantastic. I had an absolute blast watching this film. And there's a few other moments that I'm going to talk about in my spoiler thoughts that really made this film phenomenal. This is definitely going to be a highlight of 2021. So if you've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.